Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another Post-Maafa Reconstruction. My name is Tahuti Forever. I am the architect of MelaNation. We're on here today in order to speak with the family. We do have our special guest speaker, Ms. Joysaphine Waitman-Powell. She's a very influential person in the community. We will be interviewing her exactly at 6:30 during our MelaNomics segment. Ms. Janvier, if you can please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marjorie MJ Janvier. Don't forget the MJ. I am co-host of the Post-Maafa Reconstruction Live right here today. And I'm a comedian and an author, and I just do a lot of things. And I'm so happy to be here with this conversation today. It's going to be very interesting. Stay with us.
Ashe. Miss Lizzie Woody.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Lizzie Woody. I am the public relations outreach person for MelaNation. And for many years, I've been sharing information to our community, trying to make sure that we know what we're doing so that we can support each other. And welcome to the audience and welcome to our guest speaker. I'm excited.
Yes, indeed. So yes, everyone, please join us every Wednesday. We're here live to speak to the audience, to interact with the audience, to see if you have any suggestions, any ideas of which direction we should continue to invest in. And again, we're here every Wednesday, Mountain Standard Time at 6 p.m. What we'll do now is we'll go ahead and share a brief introduction to the project that we're working on.
The emergence of an inspired event is now on the move, requiring all hands on deck. So here is why you should share. We have substantially invested in a systematic approach to Black economics. Our mission is to empower and uplift our community, both online and in the physical world where birds fly. Interestingly, your monthly vote steers the direction of the company. Introducing MelaNation, a cutting-edge TV and an internet platform. It's making its way to the world stage with over 400 pages of state-of-the-art features. Features include movie streaming, a production studio for influencers where your production will be displayed through the television, a dating site that can be accessed through the TV, a Google Maps-powered satellite mapping system for registered Black-owned businesses and entertainment, making it easier for you to locate the community near you, and much more. We're bringing everything the community needs under one roof in order to build the proper infrastructure across the nation. Learn more on the Facebook page, family. The time is now for your participation to shape the direction of this community-powered company.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. So we are building an app. This app will be coming out September 15th of 2027. It has over 400 state-of-the-art pages. We're including all the features that our community may possibly need. And we're going to introduce the family to the app itself through our prototype. Currently, what we have available for the community to engage with us, we have a Facebook page under MelaNation App. Actually, let me bring this up. We have the YouTube channel here, which are here live every Wednesday under MelaNation App. We also have our webpage, which is melanation.co. And at this time, if Ms. Janvier will please introduce the audience to the webpage, melanation.co.
Of course. Every MelaNation starts with you. Mela Community is a powerful all-in-one platform designed to connect, empower, and elevate the global melanated community. From networking and business growth to content, events, and opportunities. Everything's live in one ecosystem.
Ashe.
And our next is Mela News. Okay, Mela News. It is a Post-Maafa reconstruction instrument. The Post-Maafa reconstruction phase begins with narrative sovereignty. After centuries of displacement, extraction, and distortion, our first responsibility is to reclaim the power to define reality for ourselves. Reconstruction cannot occur while our stories are being told by outsiders, filtered through hostile systems, or reduced to a spectacle. A people disconnected from their own narrative cannot coordinate their future. And another section would be the delegates. MelaNation is a digital representative of the conscious community, placing the fate of the community back into the hands of the community itself. To achieve this, MelaNation is governed by a committee of delegates chosen directly by the people. Leadership is not appointed from above, nor concentrated in isolation. Delegates are selected through collective decision making, funded and staffed by the community, and empowered only to the extent that they produce measurable positive impact. And also, we have movies. We utilize entertainment as a strategic gateway to reach the community at large. Culture draws us in, but consciousness keeps us together. Through shared stories, music, and creativity, we gather the people, transforming attention into alignment and participation into purpose. Galvanizing the community is not a slogan, it is the mechanism of empowerment. Okay, and those are the sections that we have. As hello, can everybody hear me? I don't see anyone. Are we disconnected? Are we still live?
No, I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
Yeah, I was speaking the entire time.
Okay.
So yes, that's the introduction. That is melanation.co. That's melanation.co. And again, the app is going to be live to the public here September 15th of 2020. Now, Miss Lizzie Woody did also give us more information in reference to what's going on in our community. And I would like to share that information now. One moment here.
Directors for the George Washington Carver Museum and Cultural Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Last week, we celebrated the birth of our namesake, George Washington Carver, on July 12th, 2026. November 21st, 2026 will be our centennial gala. 100 years of existence from a segregated school, a Jim Crow school in Phoenix, Arizona, to alumni that transcended the world and pooled their resources to buy the property and allow us to convert it into a museum and cultural center. We need your support. We want you to celebrate with us. We want you to engage in all the festivities that are going to be unleashed on November 21st. It's going to be quite an occasion. Our keynote speaker will be NBA legend Kevin Johnson, a Phoenix Suns superstar. So join us. Go down to the link, purchase a ticket, buy one for your friend, for your auntie, buy one from your uncle, bring the family, and come celebrate with us this great 100-year achievement. Blessings to you.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. That's the bicentennial of George Washington Carver. So that's going to be a very beautiful event. Anyone who could make it to that event, you know, I'm sure you're going to gain rewards just by being there. That being said, if you have any questions, if anyone have any questions in reference to the project that we're producing, go ahead and ask any question that you may have. At this point, what I'll do is I will bring on the actual prototype. One moment. So this is the prototype. On the very front screen, can everyone see the prototype here?
I see it.
Fantastic. So on the very front screen, actually it's not showing my front screen. Let me reload this prototype back in. All right. And let's see if that's updated. Perfect. Okay. So this is our prototype to MelaNation. The members of MelaNation, we already have these prototypes downloaded to our phones, and we're working on it on a daily basis. But again, it has over 400 pages of state-of-the-art features. So it's going to take a while for us to actually get it to the public where it has no issues and everything's been updated and working properly. On the front page, what you'll see is MelaNews. Now, Ms. Janvier read over what MelaNews is, but it's very important that we do have our own broadcast where we can tell the story from the Afro-centered perspective. And instead of allowing other people to tell our story, we have our own broadcast where we're going to be able to tell the story from our own perspective, where we can share the light based on the way we view ourselves.
Right.
Now, below the MelaNews section, you do see a list of different features that we have. You can also reach different features by scrolling to the left to see the different features that we offer here. So we have the social media posts. You can make your own videos. The videos that you create will be uploaded to your profile on the television. So when you're watching movies, you can also share your videos with other MelaNation users. Funding is where you'll see our transparency will describe what we're doing with the funding that the app is creating, because the goal is to uplift our community, to reinvest in our community. We have the Mela Marketplace where you can buy and you can sell items. We also have events. Now, every one of these features is actually linked through this main feature here, which is the virtual map. So when I go over to the virtual map, you'll see those same exact features. You'll see events, which is on the registered. This virtual map is powered by Google. So if there's an event in a town that you're visiting, you can go on to melanation.co, or you can go onto the app, and you can hit the events, and you can filter for the type of events that you're looking for, and it will give you directions to that event. Also, you'll be able to find businesses, Black-owned businesses, or all businesses, any jobs that are available to you. You'll see the things on Mela Market as well. So you'll know what items are for sale nearest you. We do have a family tree that is also logged in through the virtual map here. So we basically tied everything, all these different features that you see here is tied onto the virtual map, which will give you more of a 3D type of way of visiting those areas. We also have courses. If you're a teacher, you can log on as an instructor. You do have the ability to instruct people for free or to charge. And if you're a student, you'll log in as a student to find different instructors. The goal that we're doing, the reason why we're here at the Post-Maafa Reconstruction, is so that we can communicate with our audience to see what opportunities we may have available. If there's any opportunities that you can think of, please reach out to us and let us know what opportunities you may see. I'm not sure if it doesn't look like the screen is adjusting when I adjust the screen. Looks like the screen might be frozen. So I've been moving these screens around, and StreamYard looks like it's been frozen. So you guys haven't been seeing the screen move around?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was toggling between all those screens. So let me just speak about what's on this front screen, since this is the only screen that is being monitored at this point. The very bottom is our delegates. So the way the delegates work, they're elected by the users of the app. The delegates are offered a stimulus package in order to stimulate the community. They're charged with three different things, the three different metrics, which are one, to offer job opportunities to our community, two, to create new streams of income for the business itself, and three, to create social services for those in need. Those are the three metrics that we are gauging our delegates by. We also have what's called assessors. I can't show you the screen because for some reason the screen is frozen, but we have 800 assessors. Assessors are people, are average users of the app that frequent the app more often than everyone else. So the top 800 users of the app will have the ability to become assessors. The assessors have the ability to gauge the delegates. So this is an oversight committee. So you have 800 assessors, and the way they become the top 800 users, we have a point system. As you navigate on the app, you're gaining certain points. You'll see the points in live. As you click on different aspects, you'll see the points, and you'll see your points go up on the leaderboard. So that's the way the assessors work. The more you're on the app, the more points you'll accrue, and you'll be higher on the leaderboard. If you're at the top 800, you'll be offered the ability to assess our delegates. So are there any questions as far as what we've mentioned so far?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
As far as the television, did you say radio as well? Is that a part of the makeup? And if so, does that mean we'll have our own radio station, or how will that work?
No radio station. This is going to be television. So the app is going to be downloadable to your Apple, your Android, and to your television. So through the television, we'll have our own news broadcast, but not a radio broadcast.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you said that the delegates will get a certain amount of money. What did you call that?
Stimulus.
A stimulus. So what do they do with that stimulus exactly?
So what they're going to attempt to do is to delegate and create one of those three things that we are gauging them by. So we're gauging the delegates by creating new streams of income, which means they'll take the stimulus and open different businesses or invest in current businesses. The other thing is create jobs. So those are two separate metrics, because you can have a stream of income without creating any job opportunities for our users, right? If they just invest in the market or stock market, then there's no jobs there. That's just new streams of income. So we separated those two metrics because we want to be able to offer jobs to our community. So they'll have in the funding area, which I'm not able to show for some reason, it's frozen today. But in the funding area, the delegates and everyone who's using the app that's part of the melanated community, because the app is available to everyone. However, we do have a screening process specific for melanated users. That's the leaderboard. There's two different leaderboards. We have the all-encompassing leaderboard, and then we have the leaderboard prime. The leaderboard prime, in order to be on that board, you have to have registered, and you have to have gotten screened. But that board allows you to become a delegate if you're elected, and that board also allows you to become an assessor. If you're not on the prime board, you don't have those capabilities. So the power of the company will be in the hands of only melanated users, but the company does not discriminate. We do, everyone is welcome onto the platform. Did that answer your question?
As far as yeah, that answered it. But I just one more thing that I wanted to ask. So, do these delegates take the money they have to put into projects? Is that part of their pay, or is it just strictly to do the business with?
The stimulus itself is not part of their pay. Their pay is going to stem from their portfolio. So we're going to give them the money to invest, and the success of their investment will give them their pay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right. So they're creating their own income.
That's good.
Yes.
And so, I'm really excited to see how the family tree is going to be, because you know how they say it's a small world. And so I wonder, is it going to make a circle and just come back to them after it goes through all their relatives and everybody, just circle back to them, you know, to me or you after you put your family tree on there.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't really go over the family tree that much, but it's very so. A community starts from home. So we wanted to make sure that we have the resources to strengthen the home. And one of the ways that we decided to do that is by creating the resource so people can build their family tree, get to know who their family is, because a lot of us only see our family doing like something that really tragic happened, a funeral, then the family shows up. And I mean, we do have family reunions from time to time, and we want to invest in those type of things. We want to offer funding for people's family reunions, and that's something we'll definitely do based on the size of their family tree. So we'll go into our customer's family tree and we'll offer maybe a lottery or something along those lines, but we'll pay for people's family reunions.
Oh, right. That sounds like
Yes.
something Oprah would do.
Yes, indeed. We want to stimulate our community, and community starts at home.
Yes, that is very good.
All right. Do we have any other questions? If not, we'll move forward to our Melanomics guest speaker here. Okay.
Well, oh, I know we have Melon movies. Are Melanation, are that platform, will they be making movies?
So, yeah. So, one of the features that we have is the video editing. So, they can go on to Melanation, go to our studio, and create their own videos. Those videos will be uploaded to their television profile, alongside of the movies that we're presenting to our users as well.
All right.
Yes, indeed. That being said, I would definitely like to introduce our renowned guest speaker today, Joysaphine Waitman-Powell. Miss Whitman, please introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Joysaphine Waitman-Powell. I am a commissioner for the city of Peoria and currently running for Peoria City Council to become our first Black elected council member the city has seen since 1886. And so I want to make sure that I follow order. And so before I get started, I just want to commend MelaNation for what they're doing. As we were going through our segment and MelaNation was talking about what this app was about, I was inspired, right? My family, their self, has followed our lineage since the 1800s. I was actually named after one of my ancestors. Joysaphine was named after one of our ancestors that was an entrepreneur. She was a go getter and she did that. I was able to actually trace my family line all the way down to the tribe in Africa that I came from. And so this platform is doing something that's amazing. And so as I come, I want to talk about what that looks like because in our community, as we go into melanomics, I want to talk about what that looks like. And so I would love to connect melanomics to Mentally Anonymous We also have city connections as well as city partnerships. And we do also sponsor family reunions because we believe that is part of mental wellness. We believe that when you know where you come from, when you know who you are, you have a greater sense of purpose. And out of that, we started different initiatives, which were called the Purpose and Power Fund, and different ways for people to connect with self, connect with who they are. And so thank you, my brother. Thank you, Miss Lizzie Woody, for what you all are doing, because in this time, this is what we need. I want to also mention one thing that really stuck with me out of the segment, which was that I believe Mrs. Marjorie said that yes, we are supposed to flow currency close to us. Currency, which is our money, which is our capital, is supposed to flow. And when we flow that currency, when that currency is flowed close to us within community, that means that automatically, you're right, Mrs. Marjorie, we're going to have a return. And so a lot of communities are doing this. We're seeing this in Asian centric communities. We are seeing this in Jewish communities. But within the Black community, we have not capitalized on what it looks like to make sure that currency flows close to us. Usually, and I'll give you a statistic right here, the Black dollar lasts within the Black community less than 20 minutes. That means that when we get money, as soon as we do that, we go to a big retailer, maybe to Walmart, maybe we go somewhere else. As soon as that paycheck hit, our community is making sure that our money is flowing out of it. And other communities are intentional. They go and shop local, they shop within their community, they shop within, sometimes, I'll be very honest, I don't want to seem racist, but with their kind. And so what we're seeing is that they're flowing community. The Jewish community has been very good at this, actually. The Jewish community owns most of the land. We've started to see that most Indian families are owning our gas companies. We start to see that most Asian families are owning our nail salons, our hair salons. And so they know how to make sure that their community is able to get that return. But within our Black community, we can continue to do that. And so I love what MelaNation is doing. We are talking about that. We have speakers that are educated and informed. And I already know Ms. Lizzie Woody. She's been about this work. She's done this work. I met her as a young community organizer, just starting and talking about what it looked like when our community joined together. And so I'm blessed to be here, happy to be here. And as we talk, I'm excited to continue to share the work that MelaNation is doing. I think we will have replays, and I think we will have people getting involved. And I am downloading the app.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you're here. And I don't think that I can vote for you because I'm not in Peoria, right? Or you would have my vote.
There you go. But that's all right. I do think that you mentioned something very good, and I'm actually happy that you are taking us right into what we have to talk about. The percentage of Black community within the state of Arizona is significantly small compared to maybe the Caucasian or maybe the Hispanic community. But what I have seen within this campaign is that Black community, my community, has been able to support me in different ways. My community has volunteered with me. They have donated to my campaign, and they have gotten involved. And just like MelaNation is doing, they have given me opportunities to share my platform, so I can take these clips, so I can share with community what we are doing. Because yes, Peoria does have Black voters, and so don't discount yourself because you're not in Peoria. We are helping each other. I believe that it's going to take all of Arizona to elect the first Black council member to the city of Peoria. Yes, I've served. I've been a commissioner and became the first Black commissioner in 2020. I'm right now in my fourth term because there's 2-year terms. But I believe that God has a higher calling right now in this season. And I believe that the city of Peoria this time is ready for its first Black council member. It hasn't been a thing that I've done of the whim. It actually has been a journey. And I feel like my community has pushed me through that. And that was not just community in Peoria. That was community like Mrs. Woody that I engaged with while I was organizing in South Phoenix, where my husband had a church. It's people that I met in Central Phoenix. It's people that I met all the way in Yuma and all the way in Tucson. And so our Black community is joining together to make sure that we are represented all across this state. And that doesn't mean just one place. That means we have to join together to make sure that we're represented in every city. And so thank you for that.
Ashe, Ashe. So how did you get into that field where you're running for office? What inspired you to get into that field?
That's a good question, brother. So I will start from the beginning. So I was raised in a very militant household. I think that I've faced many things that many families face, and for sure within our community we've seen. And so my father, my mother, they got together. I tell people all the time because I'm not ashamed of it. I was born out of wedlock. It was my parents were not good for each other, but they were good to be our parents and bless this world with us. And so, as I was growing up, I seen a lot of oppression, a lot of trials and tribulation. I was raised by a father that played professional basketball overseas for a long time. He was a 6'9" black man, Jose Waitman. And one thing that I noticed with my father is that when I think, because I am a pastor's wife, when I think about the pit to the palace, he's seen every stage of life. And so my father played professional basketball. He met my mother, a South American Caribbean woman, skin as dark as charcoal, and loved it. He said, "This is her, the black of the berry, the sweet of juice." I met her all the way overseas, and this is what God got for me because this is the type of women that I'm used to being with at home. They had us, they decided that they weren't good for each other. And maybe they didn't decide, but I feel like God decided that. And that's okay because I feel like um, I'm a pastor's wife, but I love rap music and I love to minister through that because I feel like out of the concrete grew a rose, and I feel that that's me. And I feel like even though in this moment they weren't good for each other, they really raised three extraordinary people. And I will talk a bit about my brother and my sister as well. And so my father was raised very militant. He was born in the deep South, which is Pensacola, Tallahassee, actually Milton, Florida, 20 minutes from Pensacola, which is just 45 minutes from the border of Alabama. And so, as a 6'9" black man, he faced so much oppression because he would go to high school, be treated like a king, and eventually got a scholarship to the University of South Alabama and was treated like a king there. But when he stepped off of those college campuses, he was treated like just another, let's say, black man. And so
Ashe.
my father seen oppression in a way that nobody should. He would go, he would have infractions with the law, he would see what that was like. He would say, "I'm a basketball player at USA." And not until he said those magical words, he would see that, oh, their respect would change or he would get there. But he understood because he had seen that growing up. He had seen that with his brothers, my uncles. And so my father actually raised me very strict. Black Panther teachings. I knew the history of the Black Panthers before I got to the age of 11. He was very strict when it came to that. And he wanted to make sure that we knew our history. He wanted to make sure that I could look good when I put a weave on, that I feel confident when I got my fro, that I feel good when I got makeup on, when I don't. And he wanted me to know we that we were black women, and then and a lot of times we would not be seen for who we were, but that I was valued in a place by my dad, a black man, and then now my husband, a black man, now that my father passed away. And so I grew up with a strong sense of understanding what oppression looks like because my dad did raise us out of his trauma. He raised us out of what he had seen. And it was not good. He didn't trust people from a different skin tone. Unless you was melanated, he felt like you didn't understand him, you discriminated against them. For a long time, that's how I lived my life. And he dealt with a lot of trauma. Later on in life, my father did suffer multiple strokes that led him to being on drugs and going down a path that I didn't know my father to be at. But I still seen him as this king that taught me all these great, valuable lessons, that taught me about the Black Panther Party, that taught me about who I was as a Black woman. And it
Wow.
led me to a career of community organizing. And that's how I became a actual community organizer and nonprofit executive. I went to college. I had an opportunity to go to college on a full ride track scholarship. I attended the first historical Black university in the state of Florida, the Edward Waters University. Before that, before I transferred, I signed to Wiley College, which is a HBCU in Texas. And actually, if you ever watched the movie The Great Debaters, Denzel Washington, which is a great movie that talks about the racism as a college was trying to become part of history. They were debating different Caucasian counterparts. And so, if you haven't seen The Great Debaters, which stars Denzel Washington, I want to make sure that I push you and that I acknowledge the fact that this is a movie that's part of Black history. It's a true story. So, The Great Debaters, Denzel Washington, was filmed at Wiley College. That's where I signed my first track scholarship. And the truth is, I ran track. My dad told me, if you do not find a way to get to college, you won't have a way. It's as simple as that. You will work at Burger King like your cousin is doing. And guess what? I'm 34 years old. My cousin is still working at Burger King. Ain't no shame in that game. But that's since we've been 15, 16 years old. And so I knew I wanted a way out very, very quickly. It was not for me. After my dad took me in, my mom said, you're going to live with your dad because 3 kids is just too much to take care of. And even though your dad wasn't good for me, I think God has a plan for you. You're going to move to America. You're going to be with your dad. And that's where I ended up in the deep south in Milton, Florida. The place with just one high school, no Walmart, and I ended up there being a city girl from the Netherlands, Amsterdam. And if anybody knows anything about Amsterdam, is the city where you got everything. Let's just say that. Okay. And so my father raised me in a very humble structure. I was raised by my grandfather, my dad. We grew up in a shotgun house. A lot of people don't know what a shotgun house is. A shotgun house, you can stand in the front of the house, and you can see the back of the house. And I think until I turned 18, I went to college. I didn't know that I was in lack. I had nailed in bed sheets as curtains. I thought that was completely normal. I had friends over. I thought that was normal because before that, I lived in homeless shelters because of my mom leaving a domestic violence situation. And so I became to have a keen understanding when I went to college and educated myself that I had faced so much opposition that I did was not even aware of. And so that made acting the perfect blend for community organizing. I went to college, post college. I studied communication with an emphasis on public relations, advertising. After college, I did not get a job with Beyonce to make her more famous. I got into sales. Okay. I mean, that was the dream, but it led me to eventually working in a nonprofit space, project
Okay.
management, going into community organizing. The movies that I saw about what my dad would tell me the Black Panther Party was about, what power building was about, I was in it and it called me. And so eventually I decided to apply to become a commissioner for the city of Peoria. I just moved here. I did not know that community organizing or Peoria did not have their first Black council member. I did not a council member or their first commissioner. I just applied and God found it fit. Eventually I got a call back. I went into the interview and I had this very radical approach about how I was going to talk about redlining, gerrymandering, what had
Okay.
happened. This was
Okay.
2020, right?
Mhm.
This was when Black Lives Matters was alive. And I knew that maybe they didn't have people that looked like me. And so when I got on there with almost 60 plus people, police chiefs that lived in the city for 40 years and were talking about their platforms, this was a all encompassing interview. Everybody was on. So you heard everybody before you had to get on. And so I said, maybe I should change it. This is not, ain't nobody that look like me. Maybe I should change it. They won't understand. And God said, no, you don't change a thing. And so I got on there. I spoke about the gerrymandering. I spoke about what happened in St. Louis in the 1960s, how they were planning and zoning, and when they found out too many Black families moved into a neighborhood, they would change the zoning. So exclusionary zoning was still happening to this day, even though it was illegal. And there was only one spot. And out of all those people, I got a call back because I believe obedience is better than sacrifice. And so since 2020, I've served as a planning and zoning commissioner. Since then, I've served in every body elected office. I was the first woman in three decades to chair planning and zoning again. And yes, being the only woman that looked like me, being the youngest commissioner, being the only Black commissioner. And now God told me it's time to go further to advocate for our community. So here I am. Long story, but if you want the story, I'm going to give you the story. And that's
Yes,
the
yes,
real.
indeed. That was the story. We definitely appreciate that. And that's the reason why we ask, because people are going to want to know the truth. We're going to want to know the intimate details about how you became where you are, and you gave everything that we asked for. And a
Wow.
lot of us, a lot of us have a lot of similar stories, so we can now relate to you on a deeper level. We definitely appreciate that.
That's true.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. I'm just amazed. And I'm glad that you shared that with us because, those are some of the things that we want to reinforce to the community because,
Right.
the community does not know all of who you are.
That's
Right.
true.
And
You
that's
know,
we will come in and change that. Most definitely
Right.
because, wow.
You remind me of the song. The song just came to my mind from People Every Day, Restive Development. I am everyday people, but you have become Black excellence in all of its form. So,
Thank you, my brother, and we all are Black excellence. It doesn't matter what they take, it doesn't matter what they perpetuate. We are all part of that Black excellence, and when we remind ourselves who we are, even when we are on a different playing field, because we are at war. I want you to be
okay,
clear. It may be
yeah,
a success story, but it's
mhm,
not over yet. We are at
mhm.
war. As we remind ourselves who we are, we will prevail. And so I'm excited to be here. I'm ready for the next question, but I'm so grateful to Miss Lizzie Woody that seen me as a young organizer trying to bring community together. And she's always been welcoming. She's met with me in Phoenix and been part of some of these community building spaces. And I think more than anyone, she kind of known who she was dealing with, but now on an even deeper level to hear the backstory because she knew I was about community. And so I'm excited to be here, continue to talk, and this is an important space. So thank you all for what you all are doing and be secure in what you all are doing.
yeah.
Ashe.
And just to look at you or to look at anyone, you don't know what they've been through, the struggles they have. You don't know what storms are inside them right now, what they're going through. Look at them, just looking at you, I would have never thought you had a story like that because you look so calm and peaceful and you don't have any war wounds. No, I'm just
Listen,
kidding.
I got battle wounds I won't even tell you. I can tell you about it all. I can tell you running from bullet shots. I can tell you about where I really come from. But
Oh
guess
my,
what? Praise be to God that I don't look like what I've been through. That's
amen.
it.
Okay.
You do not.
And
That's
that
it.
brings us to our next question. Why is the community, community important to you?
Mm. I think that's a great question. Um, for two reasons. So thank you for that question, first of all. So the community is important to me because the community is where I was raised. And so I want to kind of paint a picture about what community looks like for me, right? And so community has always been there for me. And so community was there when my mom was a single mother in a homeless shelter, running from domestic violence, baiting us at 3 a.m. so we would not be taken advantage of. But people giving her food, people looking out, and people being there because she refused to lose her dignity, sling around a pole, lay on her back for some
Right,
money,
right,
but
right,
take care of her kids. Community
mhm,
was there.
right,
Community was there even when my father had fell from glory, was on drugs, but would come check up on me in that shotgun house, bring food, hang out with me. Community was there when my grandfather singing 40 years in the church choir, being a deacon every Sunday, every Wednesday, I knew where to find him. Every Sunday there would be a fish fry, and I didn't have to ask or question. Yes, my granddad would be drunk, but he sure is a man of God.
Ashe.
Community was there when I moved to Arizona. Me and my husband started our family away from family. Community was there when I met Miss Lizzie and I was organizing for the largest and only Black-led civic engagement organization in the state of Arizona, R4 is our vote, Arizona Coalition for Change. They took me in 6 months after having my second baby, not knowing left from my right, not knowing who I was anymore. Years I organized with them. Community is them still supporting me in this time in my run. And community is now. You all uplifting me in this time that I'm running, my community saying, we're going to get you on a podcast. We're going to be here. And so I can get emotional talking about community. I'll be very honest with you, brother. But community is always there. And if we can remember that we are community, that this is what it's going to take. If we remember who we are, not just to ourselves, but to each other, I think we'll be all right. But community has always been there for me. And community is what led me to this point and made me. So I'm thankful. That's what community is for me. It's helping each other. It's lifting each other up when we don't have. It's being there in the good, the bad, the ugly. It's my neighbor who may not be black, but she Puerto Rican, so almost there. When I come off a long day of doing what I'm doing, oh, you didn't cook yet, honey, and coming out with a pot full of chicken, enough to feed a family of four. And saying, I cook for you because I know you're going hard, baby. I want you to make it to office. That's community to me. Us looking out for each other, every melanated tone, because yeah, she got that melanin in her skin too. Maybe not as much as us, but she do. And so that's what community is for me. And I'm thankful for community. It's my church family. It's the people that see me when I can't see myself. And it's more about when I'm down than when I'm up. Because when you're up, sometimes people don't see community, but it's the time that you're down that people can really see who is there, who is not, and how community lifts you. And I'm thankful for my community every day. And my wish is for me to see them in every season of life. And that's something I've been practicing very intentionally.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you for that. So I'm not big informed on politics. So I don't really know what your position entails that you're running for. I don't know what abilities you'll have if you gain that position. Can you speak a little bit towards that?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start here. Currently, I'm a commissioner for the city of Peoria, and I appreciate that question because I think that in transparency, you're being so good because I think a lot of people don't know. They just yeah, oh that's cool, but they don't know. And so thank you for that question, brother. In all actuality, commissioner for the city of Peoria. I've been that since 2020. And so commissioner is not an elected office, it's an appointed office. So mayor and city council has appointed me to be a commissioner over planning and zoning. And by the grace of God, I've been able to withstand two administrations. You know, a lot of times people understand when you're appointed, any administration could wipe you out and say, let's wipe the slate. We
Right.
do not want to. But I believe that God has been able to sustain me 4 terms in the city of Peoria as the first Black elected, like Black appointed. We get into elected. Thank you, God. Speak those things that are not so they shall be.
Ashe, Ashe.
First appointed Black appointed commissioner in 2020. And so planning and zoning is very simple. I would really admonish some of our followers to go to whitehouse.gov. In the 1960s, like I said, there was exclusionary zoning. Zoning is the following thing, and planning is the following things. We plan and we build the entirety of the cities. We allow businesses to come in, we accept their permits, and we move forward. And so when you were talking about getting businesses going, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm building a coalition of minority businesses that are able to come into the city of Peoria. They should have an opportunity to. They should be protected in that moment and they should be able to thrive. That's what it's about, prospering the Pine District. We're tired. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm tired. It may look good, but this dress from Goodwill, I'm tired, okay? And I like to be real because I believe real ministry in a real way. And that's part of me just being a pastor's wife, understanding we have to meet people where they are. But also, I have to meet people where I am. And the truth is, I'm sick and tired of my people struggling. Why every time that the bills come, the mortgage, the rent, we have to be late? Why every time it's time to fill up that gas tank, I'm still scraping together dollars, and I'm in office. Why every time it's time to pay for my kids to go and have their childcare, it's too much, and I can't do it all. And so the truth is, planning and zoning deals with economic development in a way that people do not understand. We approve business licenses, we approve permits, but we plan for the future of the city. I mean, I tell people I've did the silliest stuff. I have allowed marijuana delivery on our grounds. That's how deep it gets for planning and zoning. I seen that black and brown youth were getting pulled over, getting more DUIs than anything. And I said, well, why can't we just get delivered? So when they brought it
Right.
in front of me, so guess who was the lead commissioner that allowed for marijuana delivery in our city? After 2020, it was legal in our state, but the city of Peoria still criminalized it in so many ways. So now you can deliver it. Now you ain't got to drive because, yeah, any police officer can stake out at a dispensary and say, hey, if you run a light, I know you're going to be high. It takes 30 days for that to get out of your system. So I know I'm going to get a DUI. That's easy. But we have to create opportunities. Other things that I've done is help businesses, minority businesses, get their permits so that they can be part of the local economy here in the city of Peoria. We are planning and zoning commissioners. We plan the future of the city, and we make sure that we recommend the permits to city council. And so everything you see, most of the new development you see, I've been a part of. I've accepted barbecue places. I'm trying to get a hookah lounge over here in Peoria. I'm trying to make it something that the people want to live in, the young people want to be in. And so that's what we do. But local economy is one of the most crucial things that decide whether a family is able to thrive or not. If you do not have things near where you live, you're going to travel, you're going to spend money, and it's going to hurt families. And so I want currency, like Miss Marjorie said, to flow nearby. And that's what I'm working on.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. So what about the policies? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Lizzie.
Okay, what is the as far as the black population in Peoria? What does that look like?
Yeah, a good question. And so, yeah, the black population in the city of Peoria, we're only 6%. And so, what that means is that we are a minority, but that doesn't discourage me. I look at my neighbor right over here, Miss Ivy. She black, and her and all of her 7 family members, they're voting for me, having my sign in their window, they're going. We have about 36% of the Latino community, and the rest is our Caucasian counterparts.
Ashe,
But I
ashe.
don't think that that counts to our extended reach. And so the black community is small. And I can tell you why I think that is. It's because one of the policies that I stand for, which is smart growth and economic development, I have fought to keep housing attainable. 2 of my friends just got priced out of Peoria and just moved to Tolleson. They can't afford to live here. And that is systemic. That is intentional. That is, yeah, raises judgment, making sure that certain people cannot live in this city so it can look like how they want it to look. And I'm gonna leave it there.
Ashe, ashe. I stayed in the city of Peoria for a short period of time, and I really enjoyed my time there.
I
So,
love that. Where were you living in Peoria?
apartment complex off of 83rd in Peoria.
See? And it shouldn't have been a short time. It should have been a long time, but that's what they do. It's a pumping mill over here, and I'm trying to stop that mill right now.
Really? So let me ask, what would you say are the most important initial steps to healing the community?
It's a good question. So the initial steps to healing our community is not going to be outward. It's going to be inward. And so I hate when people speak for a collective because you can only speak for yourself. So let me talk about what that means for me. Healing our Black community and healing what it is that we're doing is the following things. It's boosting our local economy, like MelaNation is doing, right? It's making sure that we're able to boost that economy and we're able, hey, buds. Yeah, no, I'm a mama. Hey, buddy. You go there? Okay, well, you're going there. All right, cool. We're going. I'm mama. It's boosting our local economy and making sure that we're helping one another. And so, how does that work? My staff is all black. Everybody on the payroll for my campaign is black.
Okay,
And people
okay.
told me that I was not going to be able to do it. They said there's no way on God's green earth that you will rent a council. As a mother, go ahead and upstairs to your dad, babes. Up to daddy. As a mother, making sure making sure that all black staff is paid and doing it with an all black staff because you don't have enough black people in the city of Peoria. But I disagree. I believe that we can. So stop looking outward. Stop saying what they're not giving us. Start doing it yourself. I have 3 people on my staff, and yeah, it's not that much, but all of them are black. Miss Lizzie, what do you know some of them? I'll tell you who my campaign manager is when we get off this call. I'll send you a message. You know him because he ran some of our economic justice campaigns while in the movement. And I think inwardly, if we start there, we start healing. Start flowing currency within your community. So, yes, I have thousands of people invest in my campaign, and where is my money going to? Who am I paying to run my campaign? It's my community. Secondly, I believe that it's a very, very, very deep insight in the state of Black mental health and wellness within the state of Arizona, but within our community. My husband and I, we run a mental wellness community, Mentally Anonymous, that's founded by a Black man. My husband had a manic episode while he was at Duke, getting his master's, eventually got his doctorate, not no Dr. Cheyenne Bryan doctorate, real doctorate at United Theological Seminary. His dissertation is actually published on several platforms and on Amazon. Mind over matter, crazy, not that crazy, educating the church on new ways to think about mental health, which is not the church within a building or a construction, but it's all the people that believe in God and how we get them to really think about their mental health. And I think that if we can get mentally healthy, we can start really being the community that we need to be. I think we have not been that. I don't think we've been mentally healthy. I'm a Black woman. I have a Black husband. I like them darker than me. That's just what they have to be. Sorry for me. That's just for me. I'm not saying for you, but for me. And I'm very proud to be a Black family that's thriving. My husband is a pastor. He's a chaplain. He's a pastor at an historic church that had nothing but white leadership. And he came in with his education, did what he did, and he said, well, this Reverend Dr. Powell, and I'm here. This is it. And it's funny because I never really understood, but when my husband taught about Juneteenth to a fully Caucasian congregation, and they ran up to him and said, Dr. Powell, how can I serve? I feel so bad. He went through everything, every single year, all the way to how Juneteenth happened. And they said, I just need to support a Black business. I got to do the right thing. He's convicting hearts. And so I know that God has a place for us, but it starts with mental wellness and getting them mentally well. It's mentally ill to have enslaved. It's mentally ill to think that others are less than you. And so we're doing that, not just on a secular front, but on a spiritual front. And then finally, I believe it's for all of us to join together and make a true commitment to community lifting and upbuilding with accountability. What are you doing? Not just talking about it. What are you doing? Just like I gave you 1, 2, 3. You need to be able to say 1, 2, 3. And even if that is, look, this is the small thing I'm doing within my community. But it starts with us looking in the mirror and doing for us, because we cannot expect others to do for us when we don't do for ourselves. It's like love, right? If you don't respect yourself, if you don't love yourself, no one else can love you. And they have exploited us not doing for ourselves, us not loving ourselves, and us not doing what we saying. So I do that in everything I do. I have 2 Black sons. Y'all see them running around with a bag of chips. 2 Black men that I have to raise. Okay? And they not like they black. And so I have to remember that I have an accountability to myself, to my community, but first and foremost myself. And that's how we bring the Black community together, and that's how we heal.
Ashe. Now, About a week ago, I saw you on a video at the Grassroots Bookstore, and we're talking about community. So let's see if we can uplift some of the people who've been actually supportive in your process. Can you name off some of the community members that has helped you along the way?
Yes. Oh, that's such a good question. That made me excited. That made me excited. So let me start and do the thing. I'm a church girl, so I'm a follow protocol. So women like Miss Lizzie Woody that come into community spaces come with a list and talk about, hey, this is what I'm doing. Not really with a clear call. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's not performed. She's just like, this is what I got, and I just want to show you what I'm doing. Then finally, let me get into that. Let me get into one thing. Hold on one second. Because it's an important question. Okay, I tell my boys to go. I got two little rambunctious black boys that love it. Drink some water, bud, and go and get up to your dad and close my door. Thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. They weren't, but when I say real ministry in a real way, this is the real. This is the real me. Ali, Grassroots
I see.
Bookstore.
Shout out to
He has
Ali.
been a part of the movement. I'm talking about when I was a organizer, not knowing what I was doing. He just opened up the East Lake at Archwood, and now we're in a different space, but he was opening it up even before it was opened up to myself, to my campaign manager, and like whatever you have to do. We didn't have much. We was getting little hors d'oeuvres from fries. Let's make it happen. Let's have a little event right here, okay? But I believe we made something out of I don't like to say nothing, out of a little. You know what I mean? And I actually had a conversation with Ali just 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Thank you for being who you are. You're grassroots. We're grassroots organizing here. We're grassroots doing this, and I thank you for what you're doing." And he knew that, and he's open. I have another event coming up at his place this end of this month, but he's always been down. The National Coalition of 100 Black Women that I am a proud member of, and I'm so thankful for. The Order of the Eastern Star. My husband is a Freemason, Prince Hall Freemason, which is the Black Freemasons, okay? Which were the people that made sure that our ancestors could get buried with some dignity, because our slave owners would burn us, would throw us somewhere and act like we never existed. But the Freemasons were there before any fraternity, before any sorority, and they made sure we had dignity and order. And yeah, maybe we had to look to some of our slave owners to see where that came from, but we made it our own. My sorority that I've been a part of literally since I've been 19 years old, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, the Divine Nine, which is one of the 9 Black fraternities and sororities that has been there since 1922. You have AKA, you have Delta, you have Zeta Phi Beta, and you have Sigma Gamma Rho. That's it. And for the fraternities, which my husband is a part of, because then I tell you, we get into this. We lived a real Black life. We've lived a real HBCU life. My husband is part of Omega Psi Phi, purple and gold. If you don't know, some people call them Qs. And so for them, you have the alphas, you have the kappas, you have the omegas, and you have the sigmas, and then you have the iotas. And so we've been very entrenched into community, what we do, but all of those people have been a part of shaping me from a very, very young age. And there's so many people I can't name, my grandfather, my family. But when I'm talking about historical institutions that anybody would know, they've shaped me. And so that's why them trying to abolish Black institutions that made Black excellence is so important for us to stand up. That's why they're doing what they're doing in Washington. They do not want the African American Museum to stand, because they know it's women like me that walked in there and finally found calling when we seen the casket of Emmett Till. It's women like me that went and looked and said, wow, is that the Creoles? Is that where I really, really came from? Is that? They said they were missionaries. They said they were diplomats. Wow, I feel belonging. Is that me when I'm walking up on a train, an historic train, where they said whites only and blacks only? We found fire. We found purpose. And they know this. And so there's so much that I can say about institutions that have shaped me and that have literally fired me up to do this work. But the truth is, I would go on a list that is so long that I couldn't stop with. And so a lot of people helped me. And I'm sorry if I didn't mention somebody, but the last person I want to mention is Our Voice, Our Vote. And that's where me and Lizzie Woody, we met. The only historical Black civic engagement organization that is fighting this fight, which is Black led and which is a Black movement that's doing so much work. And so all of my people have been a part of it, but those are just some of the highlights.
Ashe, Ashe, beautiful.
May I get this question in? I apologize. I would like to hear what your stand is on us, technology, social media, all of that as far as the Black community, because I feel we are so far behind that we need to intentionally do something about that, educating, training for free to educate our community so, you know, we can stay up with what's going on today, you know. So what are your feelings on that?
Yes. Thank you, Miss Lizzie Woody. I think that's actually a really good question because this is where we're headed, right? We have been technologically disproportionate, and honestly, I believe that we've been disproportionately, systemically, in a way, almost. Let me take it back. I don't want to be too harsh. I'm not a Black Panther call, so let me take it back. Yes, yes, we have not took advantage of technology the way we should in our community. And yes, in our community, because we have been disadvantaged and because they systemically put us behind 300 to almost 400 years, there's still some things that we have to figure out. Are we actually utilizing technology in a way to where our community is able to create wealth? And until we're able to create wealth within our community, off of technology in a way that disproportionately our Caucasian counterparts have, I don't think that we're up to speed yet. And so, what I've done as a nonprofit executive and what my plans are for Peoria City Council is financial literacy, tech literacy. I used to work for a financial technology firm. I used to recruit for them, so I understand how far ahead they can be. Tech literacy is a thing, and I think that we should have these programs and partnerships in place so that we can educate our community and actually create an advantage within our community to see if we are able to galvanize people around that and if we're able to make sure that we're able to see a return. I think it's all about a return. We don't need to be learning a lot of different programs and not seeing return. What I want to see is my people being able to use technology and be able to turn it into profit. And are we behind? Yes, we are. Because if not, the Black dollar would be worth more than it is now. And if we were, then we would have a lot more Black entrepreneurs. And in this moment, we have not. You all with MelaNation are using technology in a way to spread knowledge, to do what we have to do. But we need to have more people doing that. And so if places such as yourself, if people such as me, people that are public officials are able to put these programs into place, then we should be able, what I like to call, I'm from the hood, flip that and make sure that we have technology and we're able to see a return when we're using it. So I appreciate that question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe.
Thank you
So,
for that question.
what lessons have you learned while serving the community?
Mm, that's good. I learned a valuable lesson this week. I really did. I really did. I will tell you about all the lessons, but that would be too long. That'd be a laundry list of things. I learn something all the time. So this week, um, I really learned more about myself and serving people than any other time in service. And so I've learned a numerous of things serving community. That it's not about me. That's about people. It's about listening and it's about delivering results. It's about having real conversation and finding likeliness. And in my opinion, it's about ministry. I call myself a modern missionary. I want people to feel me when I'm talking to them. I want people to be excited, but I want them to feel me. But then finally, this week, I learned something so good. And this week slash last week was a time that I sat with myself. I sat with myself in thought, in prayer, in in lack. Because sometimes it takes lack for us to think, right? A lot of times when we're in abundance, we don't think, right? And so I had to sit in that. And I asked God, God, really, really, what is my purpose? And I realized that, yeah, I had been serving, but was it as selfless as I had to serve? How do I serve when it inconveniences me? How do I show up when I don't have the time, even today? Do I give people my all? Do I move things around? What do I do? And so this season, what community has taught me is that community deserves leaders that don't put themselves first, that put themselves last. Community deserves leaders that are willing to share everything, not just some. Them leaders, yeah, they show up. Yeah, they about community, but honestly, they're not what I say, spilling the secrets, spilling the tea, or spilling the juice, or telling you the real. And community deserves real. And so what I learned is in this season, community deserves for me just to be real. Two running boys in the background and pull up diapers and seeing that.
Yes,
Because if you
yes,
just
it
see
is.
this, then it can discourage you. It
Mhm.
will discourage other women. They like, she's in there with a makeup face on, with a little dress on. No matter, it's from Goodwill, but sometimes perception can sway people.
Right.
Community deserves realness. Community deserves vulnerability. And that's what it has shown me. If I want to serve, I must be selfless. And in that selflessness, I must be real. And in that realness, I must be willing to expose. And if I expose, then I can help. And it's not about me. If it's not about me, then I'm not scared about embarrassment. I'm not scared about how I'm looked at. I'm not scared about what it look like. Yeah, would I love my boy stuff? Saint be upstairs? No, but he is. He's 2 years old and he's running around over here.
Right,
And
right.
that's all right because
Yes,
there's
indeed.
other women that need to see that and see me doing this despite that and not be discouraged.
Okay.
So
Okay.
community taught me to be selfless, truthfully, and real.
That's good.
Yeah,
So, what are the things that you lean on? What keeps you going through adversity?
it's good. So I'm gonna just be very real with you all. Come here, Saint. Give mommy a hug. This little boy, all in this little stuff, he keeps me going. All right, now go upstairs to your daddy. Grab your game. But truthfully, my faith. These little kids, go ahead and go to daddy. Thanks. My faith.
I
I
say.
need God because there's times that bring me down to my knees. And if you don't know your left from your right, there's a door here. When you don't know that, you have to lean on something that's bigger than you. And so, one thing I've been very intentional about is teaching young girls faith. Because if you don't have nothing, those days that have you just drop down to your knees, sobbing, crying, you don't know your left from your right. You need to believe in something bigger than you. And
Right.
so God is my shield. He is my strength. He is real. And I know, yeah, the Bible did tell me so, but the truth, He is real.
Right.
And if I didn't have God, I don't know how I would have overcame a lot of my things. And so I inspire young leaders. I was speaking at Peoria High School. Seek a relationship, a very intimate relationship with God. Because if you don't seek that, nothing that you do will be able to prosper. And I challenge myself every day because it's not perfect every day. Sometimes I forsake Him. Sometimes I'm so busy I forget. But He pulls me back. He holds me accountable. And so my faith is something I can't let go. He's brought me out of some dark places. And
Right.
I want people to hold on to that. Your faith will keep you there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hope is our anchor.
Amen.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Ms. Janvier, you look like you had something that you want to offer.
I forgot that quick. I forgot.
Okay. So how do you define success?
Y'all getting deep, huh? We going
Yes,
deep,
indeed.
deep, deep. I love it. I love it. And I'm so thankful for Miss Lizzie because I feel like she's the connector. And I think even she leading me here, you know, she is great at what she does marketing. And so I'm excited. And I'm so thankful for being a conduit to this for our community. Success. I would not be able to define success because success looks different for everyone.
Mhm.
If I was able to define success for myself, it's peace.
Ashe.
At peace with how I'm serving, at peace with how God is using me, at peace with whatever life brings, good, bad, or indifferent, and in peace with how I have to show up. And I think that that's success for me. If I can be there in all things, because you know, sometimes we're not at peace. We're not at peace. I mean, be real.
Right.
We're not
Right.
always at peace. Sometimes we're not. But if I can be there, then that would be success to me.
Ashe.
And we
How
know
about
a lot of people are not at peace because some people can't even go to sleep at night and get some rest. Just rest.
yeah, I like the fact that you started off saying that success is different for everyone, and that is the truest statement. And you landed by saying, whatever makes you at peace is success. And I agree with that sentiment because if you're at peace, that means that you found that fulfillment, right? And that's a synonym for success, being fulfilled. So,
You know, let
what,
me
what,
just, I'm sorry. Go on.
no, go ahead, Miss Lizzie.
Okay, thank you. You are success for me today because this is reality. This is something real that has been a dream of mine for a long time. To get someone like you to listen and hear and understand where we are coming from because you live it. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. And I look forward to collaborating and working with you because there's so much more. Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe.
You're about to make me cry, Miss Lizzie, because I'm here with you. And I feel you.
About to make me
I'm
cry.
with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. And this is not the end. This is just the start of something that's going to be greater. And so I'm thanking God for how He's using all of us in this moment. And I'm so excited about this interview. This is great.
There's definitely a lot of work to do, and there's a season for everything, right? We're still in the initial season when it comes to melanation. We're still breaking ground. We're still choosing directions. And when you look at most major successful companies, you'll see they started off as something different. Their initial idea about the company was not the same idea that made them successful. So
That's
we're
right.
still in those initial phases, but what we're founded on is community, right? And there we do have a lot of successful entrepreneurs, Black-owned businesses, leadership, people who are in office. We have those in place already, and we have more joining every day.
Yeah.
My position as an architect is to come up with the means to galvanize that energy, because I believe that is what's lacking. We're not lacking in funding. We spend $2 trillion a year. We're not lacking in businesses. We have so many businesses out there successful. We're not lacking in leadership, right? It's just the common unity, bringing the together under one roof. And we bring so many people on here, and they've been doing the work. So many people have been doing the work. We have so many stories, and they're all very powerful. It's just, can we move together in unison? What does that take? What do you think? What does it take to bring our people together in unison?
That's so good. Oof. I'm gonna take us back to something we spoke about, right? It's us coming to terms with our true self. It's us saying we have not done that well as a community. We've seen other communities flow their currency. We have not done that. It's us taking accountability in how we're going to move forward.
Right.
It's us realizing instead of pointing out where there's actually some work we have to do first here. Yeah, they doing some stuff to us too. But what we doing to us?
Hmm.
Can't talk to you if you about to take a run to Walmart right now.
Ashe?
I mean, we got to shop Walmart, but have you looked at the other options? Just an analogy, just an example.
I get
Because
it.
you got to get your groceries. I get it.
We
Not they
got to
don't.
patronize our own people.
Yes, and so how are we holding ourselves accountable to the movement we're trying to build? I think we've tirelessly marched, we've protested, we've did all this stuff. But I feel like it's been so outwardly asking them to give us some that they don't want to give us.
Well, I feel
That
like,
we don't even give ourselves it. They
right.
they look you like that's what let me talk to my ladies right here.
Yeah.
You disrespect yourself and you ask a man to respect you. You know what I mean? Like they they can see it all on you. Like, man, okay, sure. You got to but you don't even. And that's how our black communities. This is an analogy of the black woman.
And this
Some
is
yeah.
this is what has been portrayed for them to follow in the media and everywhere we look. Young people are falling into the trap that they're setting for them
Exactly.
because they don't
And
have that support at home, but they need some place to get that kind of support. That's something that we should be big on, like the Boys and Girls Club and things like that.
yeah, yes. And we do need more community programs. And as a nonprofit executive, I've been dedicated to that, even within my platform, right? We need immediate relief while we work on a long-term solution.
Right.
And so, what are our immediate steps? Like, what can we do, just the four of us right now on this call? Hey, we can make commitment to building together. We don't know what it is yet, but we make a commitment. We want to work on something together for our community, right?
Yes.
Um, I've been there. That's why I be at grassroots. I be building with my people. I'm always there on a business meeting,
Oh,
always doing some grassroots work. But I think that is it. I'm sick of crying and begging them. I'm sick of asking them. I'm telling you, I've been dual citizens. I've been to Europe. I've been to America, and all everywhere is the same thing, and all over the world they doing us the same way. Let me just tell you this. So it's time for us to not just take accountability, but take responsibility. I'm ready to get up out of here. I'm ready to get myself together. I'm ready for my people to prosper. I'm ready to prosper. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. So I think it's going to take for us to get tired. I think it's going to take for us to be worn out after every election, every government, and finally say, ain't nobody coming to save us. What we going to do? And that's what happened when we started a revolution. Nobody was coming to save us, and that's when we broke free. And so it's time to
Ashe.
take them shackles off. It's time
Ashe.
to stop waiting on the slave owner to give us some. It's
open the
time to
door.
stop waiting for them to give us what we want. It's time for us to say, are we going to run free? Are we going to do something? Because they have showed us, perpetuated through history, it's not. And so, yes, I'm running for council in a majority white area. But I understand that I may be the closest person of us to it. I'm the first black commissioner, so I might be the person that has to run. I'm not scared to
Ashe.
get my Harriet Tubman on. Harriet
Mhm.
Tubman was a Sinai. Me and my husband been up in the church already. But that's what I'm saying. That's what's going to take. And I think that people don't understand that that's what's going to take. Period.
Ashe, Ashe.
We don't need permission either, and we
To
don't need
apologize.
permission to do that.
That's
No
right.
need to mention. Ashe. So we are towards the end of our broadcast. The last thing that we generally do is ask our guest speaker to speak to our audience.
Yes.
If you can speak to our audience in reference to what's on your heart or give them some advice, and please let them know again what office you're currently running for.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, MelaNation, for this enlightening, this inspiring time. As I feel like I inspire, you all fired me up and you all inspired me. And so, to our audience, I want to thank you for looking and being part of this. If you are here live, if you are watching this replay, because I know that people will watch this replay. I will be sharing this. I want you to know that we are on a movement to better. And so my name is Joysaphine Waitman-Powell, candidate for Peoria City Council. I'm the first appointed Black Commissioner for the City of Peoria. Since 2020, I have served now, going into my first term, 4 terms. And right now I'm running to be the first Black elected council member for the City of Peoria since 1886. I believe in this year of our Lord 2026 that we're going to make it happen. We are going to make national history because we are going to be the first. And I just want to thank this community of MelaNation for doing that. And so my call to you is if you are watching this, if you are watching this live, if you are resharing this and watching this later, I want you to reshare this. I want you to reflect on this. And I want to ask yourself, what can I do today? What did this stream inspire me to do today? And after that, and finally, I want you to make sure that you are downloading the MelaNation app and subscribing to this channel because they're doing an amazing work right here in Arizona, all over our nation, and they're making sure it's streamed. They said that the revolution would not be televised, but guess what? This revolution is televised. And so you
Okay.
better stay tuned in.
Beautiful. Miss Lizzie Woody, if you can please do your closeout.
Where do I start? I want to say to Tahuti, you and I were on the same wavelength because I started promoting um, Joysaphine, and the next thing I'm hearing is she's our guest. You know that's serendipity for me, right?
Right.
Thank you both. Thank you both. I think this is the beginning of something big. And as she said, community, you're vital. It's important that you follow through on when you hear it again, hear what she said. We have to work together. We have to be on the same page. And I am just so elated tonight. I really am. Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Miss Jean-Pierre.
Well, through this conversation, I've been wanting to ask Joysaphine, where is the church?
The church is everywhere. Let's just say that because I'm sick of people saying it's one building. But where me and my husband are, we're at First Presbyterian Church of Peoria. And so if you're ever in Peoria, come and see us. But we also have Mentally Anonymous, which is a mental wellness community founded on theological principle. And so we are the church. It's moving, it's in this state, it's in this nation. And God wants to make sure that we fulfill our mission. Jesus was not in one place, he traveled from city to city. And so we are coming to a city near you.
All right, that's good to
Okay.
hear. And so if someone wants to contact you, what do they do? How do they find you? Just call the House of Representatives.
Well, guess what? Ms. Lizzie Woody is the connector of our state. If you want to find me, Ms. Lizzie Woody has me all over her page. Just find Joysaphine Waitman-Powell. But if you're looking to connect with me, you can go to Waitman-Powell with Peoria.com, which is Waitmanpowell with Peoria, PEORIA.com. And so you can find me on that website. And I'm excited to connect with you. Like you, I'm not in front of you, I'm not behind you. I'm right here with you, right here with my little kids, and doing the best I can. But we are going to prosper together.
Right. You know,
Okay.
you spoke about the way it is actually being part of the community like you are, and how you came from the long road that you walked to get to where you are today, and you're still striving to accomplish more. I really appreciate you. I'm so happy that you were here with us, and I really enjoyed it and really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed our conversation, and hearing all the things that you had to talk about was really, I was elated. So I want to thank you for everything that you told us, and we're looking forward to growing with you, as well as MelaNation growing too,
Absolutely.
all over the
Absolutely.
world. I'm just so happy. I can't tell. I mean, I'm just so overjoyed. For you were such a great guest. I mean, I don't know. You kind of left me a little speechless, and that's difficult for me. I always have something to say.
Ashe. And I want to piggyback on those sentiments. I was going to say it earlier, but we need representation, right?
Yeah.
And that's you 100%. You're speaking to the women and the younger women, the girls. You are a prime representation, and without those type of representations, being able to see you gives us a higher goal to hit, the goal to shoot. You show people that things can happen. They can become like you, or like an accolade of you, right? So thank you again for coming. You're definitely welcome back on anytime, and we're going to continue to promote you and what we all stand for as a community. That being said, I just want to tell the audience, thank you for watching. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And in the meantime, in between time, find us on Facebook, find us on Messenger, and please support Miss Joysaphine Waitman-Powell. She is doing the work. Ashe,
Especially if you're in Peoria, go out and vote.
Ashe,
Thank
Ashe.
you all. May God give you all back everything you all poured out. Thank you, MelaNation. I know that this platform is going to reach not just our entire state, our entire nation, and will become international. And I call it done already in His name. And so thank you for all that you all are doing as leaders, as pushing forward our community. Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe,
Al-
Ashe. That
Also,
being
go
said,
to melanation.co, our website. They can join there, right?
Right.
this is true. MelaNation.co. It's live and up and running for our the public to view. All right. Till next time.
Thank you.